Hello and welcome to NBA Talk with Jordan Valdez. First things first, we got today's matchups, and we got two very interesting matchups for today. Our first matchup is Udonis Haslem versus Serge Ibaka. Udonis Haslem, backup power forward for the Heat. On most teams, he could be a starter, in my opinion. He was injured for a lot of the season, came back. Now he's been playing very well for the Heat lately. And yeah, Serge Ibaka, starting power forward for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Uh, Earlier in the season, he was the backup power forward behind Jeff Green. But when Jeff Green was traded to the Celtics, Serge Ibaka got the start. Scott Brooks gave Serge Ibaka the starting position. Now, both players are very good. Serge Ibaka, in my opinion, should have won the dunk contest this year. Udonis Haslem, he's a great player to have on your team. He gets those boards. He can score when he needs to. He's just a very dominant player when he needs to be. Obviously not a Dirk Nowitzki, Amari Stoudemire type dominant, but for for uh for the type of player he is, he's very dominant. Kind of like he's one of the best role players coming off the bench that you could have. So I'm gonna give this matchup to Udonis Haslem. You know, his team is in the finals. Serge Ibaka had a great season, but Udonis Haslem is has been very has impacted the Heat a lot. Since he came back from his injury, he's made a big difference to that team. Our next matchup is Alexander Pavlovich versus Von Wafer. Two Celtics guards. Pavlovich can actually also play forward, but two Celtics guards that they don't get much playing time, but when they did this season, they were both pretty effective. Other than that one time when Von Wafer missed a dunk and then made his teammate Jermaine O'Neal travel, he'll always be remembered for that. But overall, both of them, when they did see some playing time, they were both pretty good for people that don't see that much playing time. You know, the Celtics are a very deep team. In my opinion, they have the best bench in the NBA. I don't think any other team's bench can compete with theirs. Um, I'm going to give this matchup to Alexander Pavlovich, and I'll tell you why. He's the one that didn't make his teammate travel. Uh, so Alexander Pavlovich gets that matchup. Next thing we're going to talk about is Dallas versus Miami. Game 4 was last night. The Mavericks beat the Heat by a score of 86 to 83. The Mavericks' leading scorer was Dirk Nowitzki with 21 points. Shawn Marion chipped in 16 points, and Tyson Chandler added 13 points and 16 rebounds. For the Heat, Dwayne Wade was huge with 32 points. Chris Bosh had 24 points. And here's the interesting stat. LeBron only had 8 points on 3 of 11 shooting. Where did the King James go? The King James that we know. Where did he go for Game 4? Let's see. Mike Miller was Miami's leading scorer off the bench with 6 points. They didn't get a whole lot of production from their bench. They only got a total of 15 points from their bench. The only bench players for Miami that played were Mario Chalmers, Udonis Haslem, Mike Miller, and Juwan Howard. Eric Dampier, Eddie House, and James Jones were also active but did not play. Miami actually shot better from the field. They were 43% field goals shooting, while the Mavericks only shot 39% from the field. So there's a big difference there. The Mavericks outscored the Heat 21-14 in the final quarter for the win. The Heat also outscored the Mavericks in the paint 40-38. That's a close margin, but every little thing can make a difference. Um, yeah, so Jason Terry came up big with 17 points off the bench for the Mavericks. Deshaun Stevenson lost his starting role to JJ Barea tonight. JJ Barea had 8 points. Did not play as much as Deshaun Stevenson did. Deshaun Stevenson actually came off the bench uh, to play 25 minutes and 38 seconds and scored 11 points. That's pretty productive for somebody that just lost their starting position. We don't know how long. That might have been temporary. I don't know what Rick Carlisle was thinking when he put in JJ Barea. I don't know what his plan was there, but um, I was actually pretty surprised that Deshaun Stevenson played more minutes than somebody who just replaced him with the starters. Peja Stojakovic only played 2 seconds in this game. His stat line was blank. Um, so what's interesting is the Heat and the Mavericks were tied after one quarter at 21-21. Then the Heat outscored the Mavericks by 2 in the next 2 quarters, in each of the next 2 quarters. And then, as I said before, Mavericks outscored the Heat by 7 in the fourth quarter. Thank you for watching NBA Talk with Jordan Valdez. I will see you next time.